Friends, I would like to do a little video here on one subject. And the one subject is life. How did it get here? And is there actual proof in the Bible that there was a creator? Well, we've had this debated down through the years about all the things that happened in the Bible appear to be a dream or a fairy tale, like the Noah's Ark and the guy and the fish in the belly of a whale or whatever. And that all sounds like a fairy tale, and it does. And down through the years, there have been people that have argued and killed each other. You have the agnostics, and you have the atheists, and you have the Christians, and you have every religion under the sun. And they all have their different versions of life. How did it get here? Say, now, I have, through my own thinking, I have not read this nowhere. This came to me by me thinking about life in general. And I have this conclusion to prove to myself that there is a God, and life came here through his beginning of Adam and Eve. Absolutely. And I'm going to prove this. If you would look in the human family today, a man and a woman can bring life into this world, whether it be a male or a female. Now, I'm not talking about something going wrong in the pregnant. I'm not talking about that. A man and a woman can have sex, and the woman will carry a child for 9 months and then have a baby. That is a fact, right? That is a fact. That's how life gets here. We see that. We don't have to have no one to prove to us about any of this. Okay, now, what I'm going to say, friends, is something that we all can think of and agree upon without any argument, okay? And this is going to be a short video because it's only speaking about one subject. Life. How did it get here? Well, we know it got here through sex. And it still does. It don't get here no other way. Even in the animal kingdom, it takes sex to reproduce. And in the human family, it takes sex to reproduce. Okay. Here's your answer. If you will go back ever since life started, and it started sometime, I don't know when, none of us know when. We all agree upon that. But everyone that has ever came upon this world, no matter how long it's been, they came here through sex. So, that means to me that there had to be a Adam and an Eve, as the Bible says. Why? Because if you would take a little baby, and everybody that has ever lived, everybody that has ever died, at one time was a little baby. We all agree upon that. We all agree upon that, don't we? You were a little baby at one time. Now, if you as a little baby did not have two, mother and father, to have you in the beginning, if you didn't have them two to raise you up, to get out on your own, you would have never made it. In other words, you could take a child and you could take a little baby, say 2 days old, and sit him down in a room without any attention from adults. How long would he live? Right? He wouldn't live too long. He'd die. So, that is telling me that whoever has ever lived, and that who is living now, and that will eventually die, they all were at one time a little baby. Can't get around it, friends. That proves that there was a creator to start all this. Well, we all had read that in the Bible. Most of us believe that. But have we ever thought about it the way I just did it? Everybody that has ever lived and everybody that is living now will eventually die. And everybody at one time was a little baby. And if everybody was a baby at the same time, no adults around or nothing, they couldn't make it. Well, they would have never got here in the first place unless there was a man and a woman to start it all. So that's all. To me, friends, that proves that there was a God. That proves to me that there was an Adam and Eve. And I don't care if it's Adam and Eve or what. It was two grown-ups who started life by having sex. By having sex and reproducing, birth after birth after birth, on down till today. Because you cannot take a child and let him survive on his own. He will eventually die. He can't make it. So there had to be two grown-ups to start it and to birth it, change his diapers or whatever, wipe him off back in the olden days, wipe him off and keep him going, and feed him until he gets up there, he can get on his own, just like the bird does to her little birds, right? She'll push them out of their little home until they can get on their own, and she forces them to get on their own. You can't do that with a child. He's got to be brought up by a mother and a father until he can get out on his own. Well, some of them never get on their own. We know that. But that was just the gist of the whole thing, friends. That life got here by a man and a woman way back. Had to be. Because there's no other way life can get here. Only through sex. Only through sex can you have a child. Okay? You can't get around it. To me, this proves that the Bible is 100% accurate about life, how it started. Now, all these other things, I'm not even going to get into that. There's too much to get into on that. But just to say that life got here by two people in the beginning. No doubt about it, because you can prove it by setting a child by him or herself in a room or in the woods or wherever. that child will eventually die. Unless he has a grown-up to raise him up so as he can get old enough to take care of himself. That's it, friends. It might sound silly what I just said, but sometimes silly things proves a lot of things. Yes, silly things proves a lot of things. And I would like to hear of any other version of life. How did it get here? Do you believe there's any other way? Any other way? Put it in a comment. Let me know. 'Cause I don't know of any other way that life could have got here. Because like I just said, put the child down in the crib or on the floor after the child's born and come back in a couple weeks. See what happened to that child. That's it. The child will be dead. You know that. Thank you, friends.